Hello and welcome to the 8th episode of the Interlocking Loops Flosstube. All right, well, welcome one and all. If you're new to watching the channel, welcome to this episode. We'll do kind of a wrap-up of Stitch Mania and plans for the future. Okay, you can find me on Ravelry if you happen to be a knitter or crocheter. My handle over there is Angela C, and that's A-N-G-E-L-L-A and the letter C. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Interlocking Loops over there. And let's go on with the show. All right, let's talk about things I have been working on as far as Stitch Mania. When we last left off, I had finished a handful of projects. I would like to show you the other handful of projects that I have finished since we talked. Some of these I have started and finished since we talked, so we'll kind of go over those. I have one, if you remember, by the Primitive Hair, and that I was wondering about changing the colors. The flower here, and after much deliberation, I did not. I kept them with the colors that were recommended. And you can find the specific colors on my blog. It's not a fancy blog at all. And that's at www.interlockingloops.com. So I think that turned out well. I changed it a little bit. If you remember, I had trouble following the pattern when it came to the exact stitching of the bee, the queen bee, and then I changed the placement of the smaller bees in the pattern and put them kind of where I wanted them. So that was a very fun fast stitch, something for a bee area. Nice for something for summer. All right, another one I started and finished is by October House Fiber Arts. And this, I believe, was a free pattern and is entitled You Are Loved. And that's in a variety of light pinks. It's hard to see, but there is a pink heart border around it. It's not really showing up at all, but you're able to see it pretty well when it's in front of you. So, and that's by October House Fiber Arts. She has a variety of different cross stitch patterns over there, as well as she's a yarn dyer. And so if you're a knitter or crocheter, you might want to check her out as well. She has a variety of patterns that also are knitting themed, in addition to some other patterns. She has a couple other freebies over there as well. One that I think I showed before, just to promote her shop just a little bit, is Sweater Weather. That's a cross stitch pattern with knit sweater pictures on it. I love it. So that one I'll eventually be doing that, and I have the floss pulled for that, but have not started that. So the last one, the last Stitch Mania start I did is by Hands On Design, Sunshine on a Stem. And if you've been following me on my Instagram, you will have seen my finished one. And it is right here. It's also on the blog. So there we go. Felt leaves and all. So those are started and finished. The ones I'm still working on that are not finished, I guess, is one by Riveris, the Farm Chart. That's also one of my cross stitch Stitch 9 challenge pieces for the year. It's coming along well. Let's see. I'm using DMC called for colors. And I have the FAR, I have the Black Eyed Susan, and it's hard to tell because it's in white until it's mainly more of an outline of the chicken. There's the, I guess, chicken nest, and the bee skep. So I'll be continuing my stitching on that as we go along. That's a big block of white for the chicken, so I'm going to work on that part next. So I'd like to get it finished. It would be nice in kind of a summer arrangement. Another one that I have been working on that I started before that I haven't got finished, I just thought I would recap those, is one by Lizzie Kate, Yankee Doodles. and I'm still working on that. I haven't got much more done than when we talked last. I have one firework almost finished. I don't have the wick or the sparkle part. There's a total of 3 of those, and then I'm probably going to do some words on the bottom of that come with the chart. So, and the last one that I have not got finished because I haven't decided how to finish it. If you remember, I was doing one from the Just Cross Stitch, the June 2019 episode issue, and the cover looks like this. The actual stitch pattern is called Sweet Flower of Love by Cynthia Young of Luhu Stitches, and finished looks like that. So the it says Mother the Sweet Flower of Love on it. I just have loved working with the variegated and doing the flowers. So I'm not probably going to put those words on it. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that I'm not. I just haven't figured out what words I would like to put on there. And as soon as I do, I will stitch them in. Until then, if you have any ideas for, it can even be a word. I thought about spring. I thought about summer. I thought about blossoms. I don't know when I'll get it finished because I don't know when I'm going to get it decided. But if you remember, these are in the DMC, I think, variegations flosses that I haven't found are that easy to find. Color variations. So, and those colors look really pretty true on the camera. I think they're really pretty. So I just got to figure out if I want anything there in the middle. So that's kind of on hold for now while I think about that. Okay, so let's talk about some new items since we talked last. I purchased a few charts from 123 Stitch because I love their wish list feature. And you never want one chart to go on itself, by itself through the mail, right? So I purchased this Little House Needleworks, the Old Red Barn chart. And it came, since we talked last, I may have had it ordered at the time of that last episode, but it hadn't arrived. I also ordered one of the tree sampler ornaments, or sampler tree ornaments from Little House Needleworks, Deer Valley Inn. I thought that was cute. It would make a nice little pillow. As well as, I think I'm going to have a little arrangement of kind of cutesy wintry items at some point, which is the hot cocoa pattern from Little House Needleworks. That caught my eye when I was first starting to stitch, and I finally went ahead and purchased it. I think it's cute. And this last year alone, I don't know how many gallons of hot chocolate I actually drank, but a fair amount. I also purchased, sometimes I like to try some of their different hand-dyed fabrics, get a small piece just to see what how I like it. I know with gauging colors on different things, what it looks like on my monitor on my computer is not necessarily what it looks like when I get it in hand. So I like to pick out some of the colors and just try it. So this first one is 16 count Mystic Ada fabric. It's an 8x12 piece from Picture This Plus. And it's a little bit greener than it's showing up, but it's kind of green-blue. I thought in case I didn't care for some of the chalkboard fabrics in black, maybe these would maybe fit the bill. This next one is 16 count Phantom Ada fabric by Picture This Plus as well, and it's maybe slightly darker than it's showing up, believe it or not. So those are something to try. And what else? I can't remember exactly where I purchased this one, but it's all dolled up by Little House Needleworks pattern. I love that red house. That one is one that definitely needs fancy floss, and that's Bing Cherry it calls for that house. Isn't that red great? So I've actually ordered the floss for that and another order that I placed. So as far as other acquisitions, With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenna Gervais, if you remember, I've been working steadily on the word plays. I have January, February, March done. I did not get April started for Stitch Mania, but I had all of them through August. So I purchased September, October, November, and December. So September's a lot about going back to school, apples, kind of thing, which I thought that was nice. And I ordered those through her website, countrystitchesonline.com. Here is October. Harvest pumpkins. There's a little witch and some cute pumpkins. The November, got your cornucopia, your nice turkey, and some more pumpkins. And lastly, the December wordplay, Christmas themed, with a nice chubby little Santa on there. I like stitching these. They're fairly fast. So, and I've been stitching most of those in DMC, either from my stash or some from my mother-in-law. So eventually I'll get some of those done. I also did a little bit of shopping. Sorry about the camera. I think I just wiggled it, from Fat Quarter Shop for a couple of reasons. I wanted to check out her site, and so I'll go over the pattern first. Another one by Luhu Stitches, Little Summer Fling. It is a strawberry. Do you not love that nice juicy strawberry? That would be nice, a nice little pillow in a basket of summer items. I also purchased, you remember I talked about needles, wanting to know from people what kind of needles they like the best. Some of the ones suggested to me were out of stock, but I did buy some Bowen 26s and some John James tapestry needles in a size 26 as well, and I have to stop hitting the tripod. So I've got those to try. And I did purchase, so if Priscilla and Chelsea a few episodes ago were working with some of the Fat Quarter Shop design boards that you could kind of put, and your floss would stick on it. It has a nap to it, and I couldn't figure out on the website. It took me for a long time to figure out exactly what they're called, but they're called design boards. It's for quilting, to kind of lay out your pieces, so your fabric pieces, you could put them exactly where you wanted them. It's a 10 by 10 size. They have them in a variety of different edge colors, and I bought 2 of them. They would fit in most of my project bags, and I thought that would be nifty. So I got one in blue, and I have one in a red check. So they're inexpensive and they're very lightweight, which is nice too. So I believe that was for purchases. I want to talk about the Stitchy Pop needles. Where do I have those? I forget what project I was using those in. Yeah, I'm not sure. I may have actually put that away. So those were, they had a ball tip on the end, and I got those online. If you want to refer back to a couple other episodes, I may have talked about those. That I ordered them. I finally got a chance to try them, and I did enjoy those quite a bit. Now I remember what one they're in. I can tell you exactly where I got them from. I believe I got them off of Etsy. I love Etsy. The Cottage Needle on Etsy. The Stitchy Pop ball tip needles. So the ones I bought came in a set of 3, and I found them at first a little bit different to work with, but once you work with them a little bit, you kind of get used to how they are. They kind of help you find the hole in the fabric. Of course, as you know, I stitch with Ada, and so On a smaller fabric, it's a little bit easier for me to do that if I don't have great light or super magnification. So they come in a little tube. I'll probably need to label it with exactly the size, but so that was great. So if you have any interest in doing those, I heard about those from Vana. So everybody loves Vana. So try those if you have any interest. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about more crafting. All right, we'll do the knitting minute. I have been working on a shawl for some time. Those of you that are coming from my audio podcast, I have heard about this shawl before, the Unicorn Love Shawl by Jillian Harkness. You can find this on Ravelry and download it from there. I cannot tell you exactly what it cost. I bought it so long ago, but it calls for 3 skeins of fingering weight yarn, and you start out with 2 of them, kind of the olive green and the variegated, mainly natural with speckles. Then you progress toward more of the speckled color with the pink. And I ran out of one color, so I'm working on the last bit. So by the time this is done, it's actually kind of an asymmetric triangle shawl. But I'm slowly running out of the pink and the green yarn. And I won't have enough to finish the tip, so I need to kind of crowdsource or search for just the right other kind of yarn. I would like to finish it, I think, with something fairly natural with pink speckles again. Although I know the dyer that I bought this initial color from no longer dyes. She's out of Germany. So I have to be working on that, trying to figure out. I can't find exactly what I'm looking for in my own stash. So I either need to keep looking in my stash, adjust what I'm thinking on what I would really like it to look like, or look elsewhere. There's a possibility the Iowa Sheep and Wool Festival is this weekend. It may be that I run up there and end up finding a skein. We'll just see. So as far as other things I would like to work on, I have ordered the July 4th Holiday Hoopla from Brenda Gervais, that patriotic stitch with Uncle Sam on it. That was not easy to find. I think everybody else is stitching on it too. That'll be coming. The new swine chalk series pattern, anyway, from Hands On Design of Priscilla. I've ordered that from Down Sunshine Lane. I got a notification just today that that's shipped, so hopefully I'll have that and get to start on that. And I can find out exactly how I like the chalk working with black Aida cloth. So, and any other summer type things. So I'm excited about all that. Starting several things. I need to finish up a few things before I start more, but I'm pretty motivated right now. It all is wonderful. The weather's been good. It's got me all excited to do more stuff. Speaking of which, all the rain that we were having incessantly, we've had about 10 days without rain. It's been beautiful. We're supposed to have rain tonight and tomorrow, and then I think there's chances over the next several days, but we've had a chance to put the garden in. The lambs, I think we talked about those last time a little bit, that we have some sheep. We weaned the March-born lambs, and our daughter's finished up her May term. I know I talked a little bit about where she was in her education. She'll be doing some research this summer, and she takes off for that here in a few days. So lots of great things are happening. My son has taken his national EMT exam, and he passed. And he's been admitted to grad school. So we've got lots of changes coming up. Speaking of which, I hope to keep fairly consistent with getting out of Flosstube every couple of weeks. But with all the crazy things that are going on, it may be slightly less predictable when they show up. Sometimes maybe close together, sometimes maybe farther apart. We'll just have to see. But in the meantime, I want you to have a good week. And until we meet again, happy stitching. Bye-bye.